तर्फे काल आमचे पोप साहेब फ्रांसीस हांकां काल मरण आयलें. सो कंडोलन्सीस सगळे गोंयकारां भाव आनी ह्या देशांतले सगळे आमचे तांचे फॉलोवर्स करपी सगळ्यांक कंडोलन्सीस व्यक्त करता. 2 दिसाचे मॉर्निंग स्टेट मॉर्निंग एज वेल एज नॅशनल मॉर्निंग आसा आनी गोंय प्रदेश काँग्रेस कमिटीन हांवें एक प्रोटेस्ट दवरिल्लो. सो इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ पोप फ्रांसीस आमी तो मुखार पोस्टपोन केल्लो आसा टू पे हिम रिस्पेक्ट. आज आमच्या मदीं AICC चे जनरल सेक्रेटरी तशेंच राज्यसभेचे खासदार तशेंच राज्यसभेचे व्हीप डॉक्टर सय्यद नासीर हुसैन आमच्या मदीं आयिल्ले आसा. त्याच प्रमाणे गोंय राज्याचे विरोधी पक्ष फुडारी बाब युरी आलेमाव, आमच्या दक्षिण गोंयचे खासदार कॅप्ट विरियाटो फर्नांडीस, आमचे आदले खासदार तशेंच GPCC प्रेसिडेंट फ्रांसिस्को सार्दिनाजी. आमी गेल्ल्या आठवड्यात एन्फोर्समेंट डिरेक्टरेट हाच्या मुखार एक प्रोटेस्ट केल्लो की कशा पद्धतीन ह्या भारतीय जनता पार्टीचे सरकार आनी हे नरेंद्र मोदीचे सरकार कशा पद्धतीन आज ह्या देशांतल्यो सगळ्यो एन्फोर्समेंट एजन्सी यूज करून ऑपोजिशनाक टार्गेट करता. नॅशनल हेराल्डाचो विषय घेवन आमी थंय गेल्ले. ताज्या उपरांत आमी पळयलें की दुसऱ्या दिसा सो कॉल्ड RSS विंग शाखान शिकून आयिल्ले लोक जांकां हिस्ट्री खबर ना ह्या देशाची, जांचो ह्या देशाक स्वातंत्र्याक लागून इल्लो सुद्धा योगदान ना, हे लोक येवन हांगा प्रदर्शनां करतात, निंदा करतात. अत्यंत दुखाची गोष्ट. सो हे सगळे गोंयकाराच्या मुखार दवरपाक लागून आज आमचे AICC चे जनरल सेक्रेटरी तसेच राज्यसभेचे खासदार डॉक्टर नासीर हुसैन हे तुमकां ह्या विशयाचेर इन डिटेलान संबोधित करतले.
Thank you, Amit ji. Good afternoon, all the friends from media. GPCC President Amit Patkar ji, CLP leader Yuri Alemao ji, Member of Parliament Viriato ji, ex-Member of Parliament and a dear friend Fernandes ji, and friends from media. See, I think by now you people have broadly understood what is happening in the National Herald case. All of a sudden, again to divert the attention of the people of the country from the real issues, the BJP has resorted to this tactics of digression, diversion and distortion. We all know that time and again this case has been rigged up. This issue has been rigged up by Bharatiya Janata Party to damage the image of Gandhi family, to discredit Congress Party, and to bring in a non-existent case in the public domain and keep doing politics over it and keep trying to harass the top leadership of Congress Party. See, we had a very successful AICC session in Gujarat. We had a very successful session in the Parliament. We started targeting the very state from where BJP had started to grow, and then there's so many other issues. Even if I could say on the WAP issue, they are on back foot, and the Supreme Court has actually started raising the questions with the Congress Party and the other opposition parties raised in JPC and in both the houses of the Parliament. So now they didn't know what to do. So they again started raking up this issue and trying to harass not only the people, not only the members of Gandhi family who are in politics, but also the members of Gandhi family were not in politics. We should try and understand whether there is a case in this or not, which is very, very important. The charge sheet which you have filed now doesn't even one, it is not in public domain. Two, in a money laundering case, there should be a certain amount of money trade. There should be exchange of money. There should be exchange of money either in white or in black. There should be exchange of property. So neither the ED has explained to the people of the country whether if there is a money trail or not. They have not told the courts and the people of the country whether some money has been exchanged or not, whether some property has been exchanged or not. I think this must be one case of its kind in our 80 years of post-independent India, where there is a case is being made out where there is no money trade, where the money has not exchanged hands, and where there is no transfer of property. This is the first case of its kind. We should try and understand what is this entire case about. See, we all know that in 1937, freedom fighters like Purushottam Das Tandon, Acharya Narendra Dev, Rafi Ahmad Kidwai, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru launched the National Herald newspaper as the main voice of the freedom movement. They formed this AGL company, which was publishing and printing this National Herald, and it was there in English as National Herald, in Hindi as Navajivan, and in Urdu as Qaumi Awaz. British was so threatened, the British government was so threatened with the newspaper because it was mobilizing the public opinion, it was reaching out to the public through these newspapers. It was so disturbed, it targeted this newspaper and it suspended it during the 1942 Quit India movement. Until 1945, these papers were suspended. So this is the kind of role that this newspaper played during the freedom struggle. So we as a Congress party and every citizen of this country, I think, should try and protect the national heritage of the freedom struggle. And these papers were and continue to be the national heritage of our freedom struggle. It is our duty that we protect this paper. It is our duty that we bail out this company whenever it is in trouble. See, AGL, after it was launched, after it was formed, it had started acquiring some properties in Delhi, Panchkula, Mumbai, Lucknow, Patna and Indore. And only in one case, that is in the case of Lucknow, that property was a freehold property and all other properties are not freehold properties. They cannot be sold, cannot be transferred, cannot be taken by anybody. It is as clear as that. They cannot be sold or not except the property in Lucknow. There was a time when National Herald was not doing very well. You are all from media background. You also understand that only salaries can be paid, VRS can be paid, pension can be paid, bills can be paid, and expenditure can be taken care by the company only if the paper does well. So National Herald was not doing well. AGL was in losses. So Congress party thought it is its duty to bail out this newspaper, to help this newspaper, and to help the employees of the newspaper, employees of that company. So from time to time, Congress party gave some small amounts of loan to this company, specifically to give salaries, to give pensions, to take care of the recurring expenditure, and also to pay electricity bills, water bills, and in some cases also the rents of certain properties from where they were operating. So for this time, Congress party gave a loan of small amounts for about 100 times, which amounted to about 90 crores. About 90 crores. And since AJL was not doing well, since National Herald was not doing well, they couldn't have paid this amount, paid this debt back. So somebody needed to help them out. So Congress party thought that we'll form a non-profit making company. That is how Young Indian was formed. And Young Indian took over the debts of AGL, and it became a equity owner. It was the debt was converted into equity. AGL, Young Indian bought that equity and they bought that debt towards itself and they started functioning as a separate company. Now, since there were 4 directors in the company, Young Indian company, one was Sonia Gandhi ji, 2 was Motilal Vora ji, then president was Sonia Gandhi ji, then treasurer of AICC was Motilal Vora ji, then general secretary in charge of organization was Sri Oscar Fernandes, and then general secretary of the Congress party, Rahul Gandhi. Since these 4 names were there, BJP started targeting AGL, targeting National Herald, targeting Young Indian, and they started finally targeting the Congress party. Since 2 of these 4 directors have expired, Oscar Fernandes ji and Motilal Vora ji, and only 2 surviving directors are Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji, they started targeting them. Then the allegations that were made by Mr. Subramaniam Swamy is that the directors of Young Indian Company have made money laundering cases there. They have made properties out of this entire case. The fact is that Young Indian is a not-for-profit making company. None of the directors can take salaries. They cannot take profit. They cannot even take the sitting fees, the traveling fees, or DA from many of these companies, and none has been given. It is there on record. The only allegation against Young Indian is that they have converted it into equity and they have taken over the debt of AGL. Obviously, that has to be done, and this is how I think worldwide operations happen, and even the government of India resorts to this kind of an operation several times to help the companies that are there in debts. So I don't think there's anything new in this. The bankruptcy code principle, which is a global practice, it is also followed in India by NCLT. If I can quote, I think there are 2 cases where I can quote. One belongs to that Baba Ramdev's company where this soya suchi was converted into this kind of a company and the government bought over that debt and tried to help them. There's another case where similarly the government of India has done by taking over the debt of a particular company. Now the whole campaign against Congress party is that AGL has 5,000 crores worth of properties. Actually, the IT company, the IT department have gone through the entire case, and they say the properties that is owned by AGL company and National Herald are worth 413 crores. And no property has been transferred in anybody's name. Forget about Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, it has not been transferred into anybody's name. So now when we ask them questions, they don't have questions. This case, which was filed by Subramaniam Swamy, was in 2013. 2015, ED closes the case. Congress was not in power at that time. It was BJP's government. ED closed the case in 2015. But then the Prime Minister who is now and then, he transferred Mr. Rajan Patoj, who had closed the case of money laundering, and then he reopened the case in 2021. So I just fail to understand. Any right-thinking citizens of the country can understand what were they doing all these years. If there was a case, what were they doing all these years, and why did ED or IT or any other agency of the government for all these years, what were they doing? Was they sleeping? क्यों सवाल नहीं पूछे? क्यों चार्जशीट नहीं किए? क्या हुआ? कुछ भी किसी को आज तक पता नहीं. उसके बाद फिर इन्होंने एक बात शुरू कर दी कि भाई एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स दे रहे हैं. एडवर्टाइजमेंट इनको कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से ये पेपर्स को एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स गए हैं. तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट पेपर्स को देने का कोई नई बात नहीं. अगर नेशनल अलर्ट को सरकार ने एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स दी थी तो उसी तरीके से बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट जो है आरएसएस एसोसिएटेड जो जर्नल उनके जो पेपर्स है मोहम्मदारगंज से 5 जन है, ऑर्गेनाइजर है तरुण भारत है, इसको सारा तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट वो लोग भी दिए. टेलीविजन चैनल्स को एडवर्टाइजमेंट देते हैं. मैं अगर पूछूं तो छत्तीसगढ़ गवर्नमेंट और मध्य प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट केरला में जो मलयालम पेपर्स है उसमें हिंदी में एडवर्टाइजमेंट देती है. तो ये कैसा वो लोग दे रहे हैं? केरला के मलयालम पेपर में हिंदी में एडवर्टाइजमेंट देते हैं. तो अब सवाल सबके सामने ये है कि भाई हम मानेंगे अगर कोई केस इसमें, तो आप हमें बताइए कि पैसा इसमें से कहां गया, किसने किसको पैसा दिया, किसने किसको प्रॉपर्टी दी। जब ईडी ने केस क्लोज कर दिया था, तो फिर आपने जो इसको 7-8 साल बाद कैसा इसको रीओपन किया। रीओपन करने के बाद आपकी ईडी इसके ऊपर फाइनल ये बोलती है कि चार्जशीट फाइल करो, तो आपके पास 365 दिन का टाइम मिलता है, 365 डेज का आपको टाइम मिलता है, तो आप कुछ नहीं करते हैं। 365th डे जो है आप चार्जशीट फाइल करते हैं। इसका मतलब जो है आपके पास कोई प्रूफ नहीं था, आपके पास कोई ठोस सबूत नहीं था जिसको लेके आप चार्जशीट फाइल कर सकते थे। वो चार्जशीट आप आखिरी दिन में चार्जशीट फाइल करते हैं। तो इससे एकदम साफ मालूम होता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी आजादी के आंदोलन के साथ जो जुड़े हुए सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस, सारे मेमोरीज और सारे अलग अलग तरीके से जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो सेटअप किए गए थे हमारे आजादी के आंदोलन के जो नेताओं के थ्रू जो सेटअप किए गए थे, उसको सब डिमोलिश करना चाहती है भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जिसका रोल आजादी के आंदोलन में बिल्कुल नहीं था। और इनके फोरफादर्स जो है, इनके बीजेपी के और आरएसएस के जो फोरफादर जो फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल में ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट का साथ देने का जो काम किए थे, उनके खबरची बन के इन्फॉर्मर बन के काम किए थे, उनको असिस्ट कर रहे थे, उनसे पेंशन ले रहे थे, उससे सैलरीज ले रहे थे, वो लोग जो है आज जो आजादी के आंदोलन के साथ जो जुड़े हुए एक मेमोरी, एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है, एक अखबार है, उसको खत्म करने की ये साजिश कर रही है। एक गांधी फैमिली को डिस्क्रेडिट करने की साजिश कर रही है। नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट केस को एक केस बना के कांग्रेस पार्टी को डिस्क्रेडिट करने का ये काम है, चुनाव के पहले करने का काम कर रही है। अब क्योंकि बिहार में चुनाव आने वाला है 4-5-6 महीने में, तो इस तरीके के हवा क्रिएट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। कांग्रेस पार्टी डरेगी भी नहीं, कांग्रेस पार्टी पीछे हटेगी भी नहीं। कोर्ट्स में हमें यकीन है, जुडिशियल सिस्टम में हमें यकीन है, इसमें बहुत आसानी से जो है हमें रिलीफ मिल जाएगा। लेकिन ये हरासमेंट ये लोग जो कर रहे हैं, ये जो टॉर्चर जो अपोजिशन लीडर्स का जो कर रहे हैं, ईडी को आईटी को जो इस्तेमाल करते हैं, आपको मैं बताना चाहूं तो ईडी के जितने केसेस थे उसमें सिर्फ 1% केस में कन्विक्शन हुआ है, ओनली 1% केस में कन्विक्शन हुआ है। और 98% केसेस जो है वो अपोजिशन पार्टीज हैं, जो राइवल्स हैं, अपोजिशन में जो पॉलिटिकल राइवल्स हैं, अपोजिशन पार्टी के जो लीडर्स हैं, उन लीडर्स के ऊपर जो केसेस जो करवाए 98% है, और इनका कन्विक्शन रेट है 1%। तो ये जिस तरह से सरकारी ऑटोनोमस इंस्टीट्यूशंस को का दुरुपयोग कर रहे हैं, आप तमाम लोगों के सामने है। और इसमें और आपको कुछ और डिटेल्ड और कोई डिटेल्स चाहिए तो मैं आपको दे सकता हूँ। ये मुझे लगता है कि मोटा मोटी नेशनल हेराल्ड का केस है। फिर से एकदम मैं दोहराना चाहता हूँ, मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग में मनी लॉन्डर्ड होना चाहिए, मनी का पैसों का ट्रेल होना चाहिए, कौन किसको दिया पैसा, कितना पैसा दिया वो दिखाई देना चाहिए, बैंक में हो या अगर कैश में हो, ट्रांसफर ऑफ अमाउंट दिखाई देना चाहिए, ट्रांसफर ऑफ असेट्स दिखाना चाहिए। बीजेपी के पास, ईडी के पास, आईटी के पास इसका कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं है। जो चार्जशीट फाइल किए हैं वो भी अभी पब्लिक डोमेन में नहीं है। अगर वो चाहते हैं वाकई में एविडेंस होता तो पब्लिक डोमेन में उसको डाल देते, कहीं पे भी उसका कोई ये नहीं है। डराने धमकाने की राजनीति चलेगी नहीं, कांग्रेस डरेगी नहीं, कांग्रेस जो है इसका सामना करते हुए आगे बढ़ेगी।
Questions? Was state president Damodaran Street blame केला की कांग्रेस पार्टी using money laundering.
See, initially what happened, this so-called Bharatiya Janata Party, political party, is formed from where? From the RSS ideology. ताणे सांगले तशें जेन्ना ब्रिटिशाचा जो या देशांचेर जेन्ना राज करताले आनी इंडिपेंडेंट मेळचे म्हणून स्ट्रगल करपाक जे लोक मुखार सरले तांकां रोखपाचो प्रयत्न कोणे केलो? आरएसएसान केलो. हे आरएसएस ब्रिटिशांचे एजंट आशिल्ले मरे. सो हे शाखान शिकिल्ले लोक आज फ्रीडम स्ट्रगलाचेर उलयतले. एसोसिएट जनरल कंपनी वॉज फॉर्म फॉर व्हॉट? की ह्या देशान कसो अत्याचार ब्रिटिशर लोकांचेर करता, गांव काना कोपऱ्यान ती न्यूज पावची म्हणून हो पेपर काडिल्लो नॅशनल हेराल्ड. आणि थ्रू नॅशनल हेराल्ड जे लोकांचेर अत्याचार करताले ब्रिटिशर्स हे लोकां मेरेन पावपाचें काम करताले. तेन्ना ब्रिटिशरांनी तो पेपर सुद्धा बॅन केलो मरे की लोकां मेरेन पावचे न्ही म्हणून. हांगा सपोर्ट कोण करताले? हे RSS लोक, जी आज पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी, जांचो या देशाच्या स्वातंत्र्याक 1% सुद्धा योगदान ना. ते आमकां शिकयतले आणि ते उलयतले आज. सो जी 2015 जी केस बंद केल्ली ईडीन, ती या नरेंद्र मोदीन 2021 परत चालू केली, ज्या केसीन कांयच तथ्य ना. सो बीजेपी आज आमचे लीडर श्री राहुल गांधी, जे आज सामान्य वर्गाच्या फाटल्या दलित वर्गाच्या लोकांचा जो आवाज उठोवपाचो जो प्रयत्न करता, जाणी आज देशभर डिमांड केला की एक कास्ट सेन्सस जावचो, ताजो आवाज दमपाचे एक षडयंत्र काँग्रेस पार्टी भिवची ना. आणि आमचे AICC जनरल सेक्रेटरी सांगले तशें की काँग्रेस पार्टी ही भिवची ना आणि आमी फाटल्यान सरपाचे ना. सो दामू नायक कितें उलयता? दामू नायकान खंयच्या शाखान ट्रेनिंग घेतल्या? पयली हिस्ट्री वाचची. ज्या लोकांचो या देशाच्या स्वातंत्र्याकूच तांचो योगदान ना, ते आज उलयतले. थँक्यू.
थँक्यू.